Hello and welcome to ASEAN Connected. Vietnam's GDP grew in 2022 despite a worldwide economic slowdown. Yet, the current external environment remains challenging, and the estimated global GDP growth for 2023 is anticipated to decrease to 2.1% compared to the 3.1% in 2022. In the first half of 2023, Vietnam's macroeconomics was impacted by global and domestic economic uncertainties. Our analysis will divide into two parts, which focus on recapping Vietnam's socio-economic situation from January to June 2023 and make forecasts for the market at the end of the year with information conducted from the national databases and other related sources. Vietnam's economy experienced a strong recovery of 8% growth in 2022. This growth was driven by a rebound in domestic consumption following COVID-19 and a solid performance in export-oriented manufacturing. However, weaker global demand led to slowing orders and exports in Q4 of 2022, showing signs of weakening in the end of 2022. Considering Vietnam's significant growth and the global economy, Vietnam's economic outlook in 2023 is expected to be lower than last year at over 6% GDP growth rate. Regarding the country's current economic prospects, Vietnam's GDP in the first half of 2023 increased slowly by 3.72% year-on-year, well below the same period in 2022 at 6.4%, reflecting a weaker external and domestic demand. The slowdown was led by a sharp deterioration in external demand, with exports contracting by 12% in the first half of 2023. This in turn weighed on the performance of the export sector, which is estimated to account for 50% of Vietnam's GDP. Simultaneously, domestic demand moderated due to fading base effects from last year's post-COVID rebound and weakening consumer confidence. Growth in final consumption expenditure slowed to 2.7% in the first half of the year, compared with 6.1% in the first half of 2022. Despite resilient FDI and a slight increase in public investment, total investment growth also declined, driven by weak private domestic investment, which slowed greatly to 2.4% from 11.8% during the same period last year. Moreover, headline inflation declined quickly thanks to a slowdown of fuel prices in global and domestic markets and a slowing domestic consumption, while core inflation decelerated more slowly. The CPI, short for Consumer Price Index, fell sharply to 2% in June 2023, well below the 4.5% target policy rate for the year. Transport services were the key driver of the declining CPI, with prices falling by 12% in June 2023 due to cooling fuel prices in global and domestic markets. Reflecting the slump in exports, the Purchasing Managers' Index, known as PMI, survey results show new export orders decrease quickly amid declining demand in international markets. Consequently, the fall in new orders meant that backlogs of work continue to decrease. This will lead to reductions in workloads and employment levels as laborers might be losing their jobs or cut off their salaries, thus negatively affecting the purchasing activity. Furthermore, demand weaknesses fed through a further reduction in manufacturing production, while there were also a number of reports that power outages due to a heat wave in Vietnam had restricted output. Manufacturing production in industrial parks in northern regions of Vietnam have been particularly badly impacted, notably in Bắc Ninh and Bắc Giang provinces. In order to recover the manufacturing industry for the remainder of 2023, stable power sources must be ensured to meet enterprises' and consumers' production needs, especially during the peak heat seasons. Difficulties from the external environment and weak domestic demand are slowing down the Vietnamese economy, mirroring a gloomy national economic context in the first half of 2023. However, the economy is nonetheless forecast to accelerate in the second half of this year and the following years. Please stay tuned for upcoming parts of this topic in the next video for further analysis of Vietnam's trading activities and future forecasts. Thank you for watching the video, and if you enjoy it, please consider giving a thumbs up or leaving a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content. Ciao, xin chào và hẹn gặp lại.